All right, go ahead and get started here. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Richard Wicca. Today we are very happy to be here presenting to you guys a product update with our Storage Commander SC Navigator software. So today it's going to be myself and Joel Washburn. My name is Richard Wicca. I'm the Vice President of Sales. We also have Joel Washburn, Vice President of Engineering. Today we're very excited to bring this to you. I want to go through the agenda really quickly. Do the introduction on us. We're also going to introduce a little bit about Storage Commander and SC Navigator. And then also we'll do some industry snapshot and trends. We'll talk about the features. We'll go over them. And at the end, we'll do a Q&A. For the Q&A, please, if you have any questions that come up during the webinar, put them in the chat. At the end, we will read all the questions and answer all the questions that we have time for. So again, very happy to be here. We will get going here on the little bit about us. So Storage Commander, for those of you who don't know, Storage Commander SC Navigator specifically is our fully cloud-based platform. We designed this to drive financial performance for self-storage operators like yourselves. The platform's modern architecture, it delivers a significant cost savings both in software licensing as well as our payment processing. We introduced this about a year ago. Couldn't be more pleased with the performance of it, the reception in the industry, and really what we are building for the future. And with that, we want to talk about some of the features that we have rolled out, and more importantly, why we did it. So what you see here is trends within the industry. We've taken a look at what's gone on in the industry over the last few years, and we know that most of you have faced a pretty tough market. Occupancy rates are declining across many markets. Customer acquisition costs, they continue to rise. We've got competition coming in every market. Not only are the REITs focused on the MSAs, but they are also looking at ways to get into tertiary markets. So the competition you're facing has changed dramatically over the last couple of years. What our customers expect, meaning the tenants expectations have changed dramatically since 2020, where they want immediate response and they want online convenience. Delayed follow-up. What we've noticed is that if you're not taking the time to immediately talk to potential customers, leads, people that are walking into the facilities and really capturing everything, you will result in lost rentals. So Storage Commander has heard this from customers and prospects. And across our platform, we've been looking at ways to improve this, to improve this, and well as tackle a lot of the issues you guys are facing. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Joel to talk about the new features we have released that will handle and tackle a lot of the challenges you guys are facing as operators.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. And again, good afternoon, everyone. So as Richard had indicated, the market is down, occupancy continues to be a challenge, and it's important to identify that problem. That's great, but it's more important that we're taking action to help our partners to grow their customer base, to get those occupancy numbers back up. And the way we're doing that during the summer of 26 here is we've added several new features to the platform to not only grow your number of leads, but get a higher capture rate on those leads. We've done that in several approaches, with the three key approaches being we've created a new interface that allows you to better track and manage those leads, a new process to automate messaging to get more touch points to those leads, and a new communication tracking that allows you to keep up with metrics so that you can see all the communications that each lead has had, all the touch points for that lead, be it they come from SMS or from email or from your call center, so that you can see the effectiveness of those communications and see what it takes to really drive that process and get that lead closed once they get in the system. So we're going to start off by looking at that new lead management interface. What we've done is we've completely reinvented what the lead interface looks like in our platform and really kind of fleshed it out and given you more functionality that you have more information on that lead. including, you've got communication tracking, note tracking. We've compartmentalized where that information is so that you have a quick access screen for the most important pieces so that you can quickly communicate with that customer, or you can just see the status of that customer at a glance. We've added to this um, not only internal note tracking, but personnel tracking as well. Who's making those calls, who's sending those messages, who's, that sort of thing, as well as we've provided a automation layer where you can see the communications that are sent out from an automation system as well to really help you figure out what is converting that lead and what is most effective and what is least effective. But more importantly, at any given time, when you pull that lead up, you can get a snapshot of what kind of communications and what touches you've made with that lead so that you can continue to track the progress with that particular lead. Another thing that we've done in the next slide there is we've added communication tracking to the lead so that you, like I said before, so that you've got data points on how you've touched that lead. You can see, where that where you've sent SMS, email, or like I said, automated call center, or notes that are added manually by the manager, so that you can tell just how aggressive or passive you've been to communicate with a particular lead. We firmly believe, and data indicates that, as leads are gathered, either cold leads or abandoned carts or fully qualified, filled out leads, the more you communicate with that lead, the better your chances are to close that lead. So if you have a lead come into the system, if we can give you the means to quickly communicate to them with a real-time text message, or we give you the tools to automate communications with those leads, so as they grow cold, you can continue to communicate out with those leads through automated messaging at 1 day, 5 days, 8 days, 9 days. You can continue to send out messaging, and that messaging can be geared to, fear of missing out messaging or incentive-based messaging, where you can offer a discount and then more aggressive discounts as that lead gets colder and colder. Looking at the next slide. Like I said before, you can track those communications. What I really want you to focus on there is that real-time SMS communication. I think that real-time SMS communication has shown that it really presents your location as a more personal interaction with the lead. Yes, we do robo communications with the lead. We do find that effective as they start to fill out that lead information, and then they have to go and cook supper or leave that keyboard, and then things get stale and the abandoned cart happens. It is important that we continue to communicate with that lead, that we can continue to show, either a fear of missing out type message or an incentive-based we care message. But what's also incredibly impactful is your managers communicating directly with those leads in real time and providing that interface to you so that you can continue to engage that lead and keep that lead plugged in. Really maximizes your chances. The more you touch base with them, especially on a personal level, the better. And so getting you quick access to that and allowing you to communicate directly with those leads and tracking all of that communication historically so that you can go back and see the full history and communication of what you've done with that lead is extremely impactful and can really help in converting that lead into a rental. Now, this is where it gets really exciting. So SC Navigator has an automation suite that allows you to configure a campaign. That campaign is adjustable to your particular market. You may have a lot of locations around that you're competing with. You may have very little locations around that you're competing with, but you can customize a communication campaign with those leads that best suit your market and your needs. So you can set up automations within the system that will trigger on a lead and the status of that lead, how old that lead is, and as that lead continues to grow cold, you can get more and more aggressive with your messaging in an attempt to try to capture that lead. Like I said before, you can plant within those communications incentives. You can give them an aggressive discount that starts at 5% off when they're 3 days cold, 10% off when they're 8 days cold, and continue that to try to get a more aggressive approach to capturing that lead and really incentivize that lead to go ahead and convert over to a customer. You can make those discount programs one-time discounts, 50% off first month if you move in now, or you can make those ongoing discounts and provide 5% off ongoing for a VIP customer. Whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever is going to be most effective in your market, you can continue to tweak and change those campaigns so that you get more traction in your particular business, in your particular area, to find what is best. We keep up with all of that data so that allows you to keep track of what's effective and what's not as effective so that you can adjust your communication style to really capture leads in your market.
Awesome, Joel. Thank you. Again, these are really exciting features and improvements that we have built into SC Navigator to respond to the challenges that our customers are having in the current market. We want to make sure that our partners understand that we are listening to what you guys are telling us, but also what we're hearing at the various trade shows we go to, the various events we attend, and understand the challenges that are being faced within the industry. This is a really important topic right now in the industry, and we feel that these features and enhancements will result in you guys filling more of your storage units at your facilities. And more importantly, if a customer shows interest, you guys now have the tools to utilize the software to go and make sure that you get a high conversion rate and that you are taking every lead that comes to you and you are trying to convert them into a customer, because occupancy is a huge component to a successful self-storage operation. We want to make sure we're doing our part to help you guys succeed in converting those leads. So we are excited to share this with you. We think SC Navigator is second to none in this area, and we're really, really, really pumped that we're rolling these out. So we do want to spend some time on the Q&A side of this. So I got all the questions coming in. We'll ask the questions and Joel or myself will respond. So if anybody has more questions, keep them coming. We got a few in during the presentation. So I'll start off with the first question. Joel, I'll send this one to you. What is the best practice for following up on leads left in the shopping cart?
Yeah. So like I had touched on before, this can vary by individual market. Some markets are much more responsive to a fear of missing out type messaging. This reservation doesn't guarantee that you got a spot. Come in now and sign up. There's there's incentive based, which is also pretty effective in certain markets where, like we were talked about before, the more aggressive discount, that sort of thing. What I think is most important here is that as you deploy a particular communication campaign to the lead, and that campaign is not necessarily just automations, but that campaign can also be manager response and manager actions as well. You could have a standard practice in your office every morning. When you come in, you see the fresh leads, those managers are going to reach out directly to those leads, whatever those campaigns are. I think what's most important is that you have all of that data available to you so that you can track what's most effective in your particular market. In general, it's better to touch the lead than not touch the lead. So if somebody, depending on, regardless of where it comes from, really, from your call center, from your website, from an abandoned cart, really, as long as you're communicating with that lead and you're not allowing that lead to go cold without any touches, that is the most effective way to close that lead. That's what we're seeing as we've deployed these particular systems to some test customers. We're seeing in the data that more touch points mean more close rates.
Yeah, it's a really good call out too. And the one thing I'll add to that is we do talk about the features that we have in the software, and they are tremendous tools, but they should be a tool you're using as part of a larger campaign. So, and there's more we can do and we can show you within SC Navigator to help that campaign. So, as Joel said, a action item for managers is to make a phone call, send an email. There can be notifications within the software to trigger a human event too. So that is not just the automation piece of it. It's a series of touches. This is near and dear to me. My reps are doing something similar where we have a cadence on what we want to do with leads coming in. So don't leave this just thinking that the automations will do it. We will help work out a complete process within the software to help you guys tackle these leads. Another question, really good one as well. Can SC Navigator support trigger-based campaigns, and how does that work?
Yeah, and we've kind of touched on that in this particular webinar, but in general, how it works is based off the date of move-in, desired move-in, and days before or after that. So one thing we didn't talk about really when I referred quickly to qualified leads, that's what I'm referring to is a lead that's either gone through the reservation process and selected a future move-in date, or called into the property and has communicated a desired move-in date. This Saturday we're going to move in. So they've got a reservation, but they haven't fully moved in yet. They're going to come in, as we all know, some of those fall through. That's not a guarantee. So in order to try to help guarantee those particular move-ins, what we do is the campaigns can trigger based off days before or days after. If it's an abandoned cart, we set that desired move-in date to today when that cart was abandoned, because they were going through the rental process and then they stopped. If it's a qualified lead, then it could be a future date of this Saturday, next Saturday, that sort of thing. And that could have been taken over the phone by your manager, by someone in the call center, or by someone through your AI chatbot, or through the website if they're going through and they're selecting a future date. And in both of those cases, you can set up triggers that will fire off messaging, 3 days before, hey, don't forget to buy some boxes. 2 days before, hey, we're excited to see you. 2 days after, hey, we noticed that you weren't able to move in. Offer a 5% off, or tell them that there's no guarantee in holding their unit. And then you can continue to communicate those things on both sides of that desired move-in date to really effectively stay on that lead to try to get that capture.
That's a great call out too. And, a lot of the stuff that we are talking about in regards to messaging, you guys have the opportunity to, collaborate with us. We certainly have some best practices that we can work through with you. But it's your business, it's your customers, and we want you guys to be very involved on the messaging that's sent out to the customers. This is a really good question as well, because we talked about the two-way texting. Customers asking what is required to use the SMS feature, and are there any privacy concerns? Texting customers, prospects, that's certainly a really hot topic right now on the privacy side, but also what's required to use it.
Yeah, so SMS texting is a feature built into SC Navigator. So if you're on board into SC Navigator, you have access to SMS texting. We use industry standards for privacy and security. We're communicating directly with Twilio, which communicates to your cell phone providers to communicate those SMS messages. So the system initiates all communications. That's not just SMS. That's also email. That's also robo-dialing if you have a compatible call center, but call center software, excuse me. So the system itself will initiate all those communications privately between those communication vendors, and then send those messages out targeted directly to those customers. We're also very careful to follow compliances. We have opt-in processes and procedures in the move-in platforms and with our third-party vendor integrations with marketing services. Everyone in the industry, we give them the opportunity to do SMS opt-ins. We're tracking all of those things, and we're making sure that you stay compliant as you're communicating with your leads.
That's great. This next one's an interesting question. So, can there be tiered access to communication logs? We talked about the communication logs. I'll take this one, Joe, because I think I understand the nature of the question. So when you look at the communication logs, there's a lot of opportunity to analyze data. There's a lot of there's a lot you can gather from it. And so yes, what we have set up is the SC Navigator has restrictions, but also access. And so you can set up a user to be see all communication logs, or you can set up a user to see one communication logs. Where I see this to be a huge advantage for you and the operators is, a manager at the store level can go through their communication log, can look at successful conversions or conversions that did, and see if there's any trends on what happened, any talk tracks that worked, or how many touches did they take to get a conversion, and use that data to better themselves. Next level up, regional managers can take a look at all their staff's communication logs and start to identify trends. You know, ABC self-storage down the street, ABC self-storage 2 is really hitting on the conversions. What are they doing? How many times are they reaching out? Are they doing something different than what we've set up? And what can we gather from that data to make everybody be stronger on converting leads? And so there's different tiers that you can take a look at the communication logs. You can look at what's being texted. You can look at the campaigns to take that data and make sure that you guys are converting at the highest level. Joel talked about this during the presentation, that this data is there for you to make good decisions. You can test different things. You can test a FOMO versus a discount, and you can see all of this in the communication log and make sure that you have the data to enhance the campaigns and make them better. So it's a really great question, and it can be restricted or it can be open, and it can be all decided by you, the owner operator, the regional manager, whatever you guys whatever emission, whatever level of permissions you guys want to put out there for your staff. Three more questions actually. Joel, I'll give this one to you. Is there a mobile app option, or will there be one in the future?
Yeah, so currently there's not a mobile app option. All of our interfaces, our customer portals, our online booking engines are responsive so that they work natively on your cell phone in your web browser, which allows us to continuously update that without forcing updates on your clients' cell phones or having platform compatibility issues. We're using industry-leading interface frameworks to make sure that these interfaces work directly on your customer cell phones, as we understand that 60% plus of internet usage in 2026 is done from an iPhone or from an Android device and not from a computer. So we take a meticulous measures to make sure that these interfaces are available to the customers and that they're usable to the customers.
Yep. So although not a mobile app per se, but what you're saying is that they can do, both operator as well as customers can interact with the software via their cell phone, their tablets, and other devices?
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Are these features included in the current platform, or are they additions that can be added and paid for additionally? So I'll take this one. So yes, we have different tiers of our software. So we have different packages, and those packages, some do include this function, some do not. So what I would encourage anybody on this call, if you're taking a look at SC Navigator or already enjoying SC Navigator, get with your account executive. If you're a new customer looking to us, make sure you bring this up on any demo that you want to understand, what package might be best for you to take advantage of this of these new features. All right, so this question came in: when will SC Nav be available for standalone Storage Commander users? Okay, this is a very specific question, but I will say that SC Navigator will be available for all customers, current customers, and I will take this one offline and directly reach out to you in regards to the second piece of the question about getting over into the SC Navigator platform. So this one we have made it available for all of our current customers on other platforms, and we will continue to get people over into the SC Navigator environment as quickly as possible. But I will reach out to your specific ask on that one. Last but not least, this is what's next for Storage Commander. Obviously, we just talked about some new features that we released. I think people are excited about it, and they also want to know what's coming next after this.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of exciting upcoming changes to SC Navigator. We are streamlining the way the search function works and reinventing the interface in a manner that we're adding user experience improvements to it. And that first one being that search bar at the top of SC Navigator. We're putting it front and center. We've added a lot of functionality to it to get you to your data faster so that you can navigate the system in a much more efficient manner. So that's an exciting change that's coming in the coming weeks directly to SC Navigator. We didn't present on it today because it's not available to you today, but it is coming very shortly, and it's something that we're very excited about. We're also continuing to improve our platform by optimizing more of the interface to get you to the data faster, less clicks, and more actions with clicks as soon as possible. So that's been a real focal point for us as a team over the last 12 months is to, with SC Navigator, optimize it with keyboard shortcuts and keyboard actions, with better search features, with improved flow between interfaces to really streamline these actions for your frontline managers so that they can move through the software very quickly and get to what they need to better serve their customers. As we optimize our solution, we're optimizing your daily processes, and that's been a real focus for us. And we've got a lot of exciting things coming in the summer of 2026. And this is not vaporware. These are things that are currently in testing and will be just right around the corner. So we're really excited about those things. And we're also continuing to improve our online rental platform, both through our third parties, like we had mentioned earlier with SMS opt-in features through the APIs, but also through our own hosted booking engines as well, so that we're really focused on getting those lead numbers up. And if that means if we can collect a minimal amount of information to get a lead into the system, and then they lose, interest or focus and abandon those carts, we're really putting an emphasis on getting those leads as quickly as possible so that we can get the lead numbers up, so that we can get the conversion numbers up. And we're doing that again in the coming weeks with our own internal rental engine, but also we're working with third parties to continue to enhance their offerings so that we can continue to drive that lead volume across the board.
Awesome. That's exciting stuff, Jill. Again, we're really, really excited about the features we're rolling out. And like Jill just said, and I hope you guys understand, we're not stopping there. We're going to try to continue to make this the leading best software in the industry. And we hope that you guys see that through this release and many more. We do have an exciting offer for any new customers. So if you'll be receiving an email with these details, but if you sign up for a demo by June 30th with our sales team, we do have an offer for 3 free months of hosting when you book a demo by the 30th. So again, we definitely want to thank you guys for your time today, and really appreciate you jumping on to see what we have here that we've developed for SC Navigator. If there are any additional questions, please send them to us. We tried to get to them all, but if anything comes up afterwards, please reach out to us. And with that, definitely have a great day, and we look forward to hearing from you and continuing to be great partners with our current customers and look to build great partnerships with new customers. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day.